Thanks for tuning in to Topanga Sessions. I'm your host, Nick Stubblefield. We're here with Daniel Joshua. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I want to go ahead and just jump straight in to the fact that you and I share something very in common, and that is we were both raised in a single home household.
Yes. I was born and raised single parent household. My mom, my brother, and I grew up struggling a little bit financially. I watched her flourish. She was working graveyard. We somewhat fended for ourselves, but we had to because, she was working day and night, having macaroni and cheese burritos. But, the struggle made me, understand that it doesn't matter how much you struggle, but it's how you get out of the struggle. And that's what I've kind of lived throughout my life.
Absolutely love that. Now, something that we talked about that's really important, and for you at home, you can definitely understand how being raised in a non-nuclear family is different. It makes it kind of feel like you aren't necessarily 100% whole, but the thing is that we are all given what we're supposed to have. And for you, that message was kindness and hope.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I never lost hope. I never was angry with the situation that I was in. I never blamed anybody. I just knew that this is what it was. It wasn't a problem. It was me finding the solution and getting better than I was, the day before, and getting out of I wouldn't say problem, but the situation. And that was me making sure that I'm doing everything that I could to get to the next step.
Now, was this a constant, from what you can remember, or was there a specific moment that gave you this ability to look at life in a much healthier way?
I think I was in that mindset, and then about 9 years ago, my mom, she was diagnosed with cancer, and watching her go through cancer and the struggle that she had, I was now, helping her out, driving up north and making sure that she was okay, made me realize that there's no bigger problem than yourself. And when you have the right resources and you have the right people around you to get you through that, that's really all that matters, because that gets you continued in that positive mindset. And I think that sort of situation made me realize, all right, it's bigger than me. It's you just being there for the person that's much needed.
First off, thanks so much for sharing that, because I know that's not very easy, and I can totally relate, because while my mom didn't have cancer, she actually broke her hip. Oh. She was out hiking, and so I ended up moving home and taking care of her and running her company for a year. Wow. And the crazy thing is, she broke her other hip 7 years later, so I had to do the same. So going and taking that parent responsibility, I think was so palatable, because it just gave you a better understanding and respect.
Definitely.
And I think that really helped with you, the fact that you actually have a couple littles of your own.
I do. I definitely teach them to make sure that you are nice and kind to everybody, because you never know that person, and it's been throughout my whole life, I've been nice and kind to everybody, and that one person that 5 years later they come back in your life and they have an opportunity for you. And so I tell my kids to make sure that you're nice, you're kind, and you treat people with respect, because that person might come back into your life and give you that opportunity. And I'm 39 now, and throughout my life, it's always been that somebody came into my life a couple of years later, I was nice to, and they gave me an opportunity, and I capitalized on the opportunity. So I'm definitely grateful for what my mom taught me growing up, and that's to stay positive, keep hope, and there's nothing to complain about.
I love it. And it's so easy for us to get into that mindset of oh, something's wrong, something's terrible. But if you just take 10 seconds, you can really just see that everything's is there to help you grow. Truly, there is power in pain, because pain is what you build growth in.
Definitely. I think that sometimes people make excuses for what they're going through, And if you make an excuse, it's just a means of holding you back to what the next opportunity is coming. And if you keep yourself kind of laid back and sulking, you're never going to get to that next opportunity. You're never going to get to that next step in your life.
Speaking of opportunity and why we're here, you are only getting into music at close to 40 years old.
So I've had music in my life for a very long time. I majored in music, went to grad school at the Manhattan School of Music for classical voice, but I got out here in New York, from New York, and I just didn't do it because LA is a much different beast than the Bay Area and much different than New York. And so I took some time off of being, Daniel Joshua, the artist Daniel Joshua, and I found every excuse not to perform, not to do it. I was more focused on coaching. That's my normal day job. I'm a coach and a professor at a community college, and I was focused more on that, and I was very successful. But again, I just made every excuse not to do music, and then I got an opportunity from someone who was in my life, a decade ago, and I took the opportunity and got motivated and got excited, and then music's back in my life, and I'm happier than I have been because I was missing that one piece in my life that I didn't realize how much of a positive impact it had for me.
I absolutely love that. And for you at home, when you're dealing with fear, the best way I could ever describe it is it's like trying to leave the warmth of a comfortable blanket in bed. It's one of those things that's just like so hard to really do, but once you actually take that first step, you're able to domino that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the past couple years, my domino effect has been very good. I have an amazing support system. My mom's still in my life. I have an amazing girlfriend.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's just, I've got my kids, and there's nothing to complain about. I've got music back in my life. I've got great business partners, and there's nothing to complain. I think I'm almost 40, and I'm living the best life that I could possibly live, and I'm happy because of how I set myself up early on in my life.
It really is. But even if for you at home, even if you are just starting out and you don't have this base layer structure of kindness and openness, because a lot of us struggle on a day-to-day basis and don't really understand everything because we honestly just weren't given the right tools. Because social conformity teaches you to hide and not be yourself and not speak your truth.
I highly agree with that, and I think that you don't realize it until you go through a struggle and you see who's around you to help you with the struggle. And even if you don't have anybody around you, you have to just say, look, I may not have somebody around me, but it's my mental capacity that I need to understand that that's what's going to get me motivated to get to the next day and to get through this struggle and get through this situation. And I think if people do that, and like I said, not like stay back in that cozy blanket, they're going to take off the blanket and realize, what, it's much cooler over here,
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely grateful for all the people that I've had in my life to show me that way, and even not show me, for me to realize that, okay, I need to get out that blanket.
It's so crazy how you have people that can just come into your life even for a brief second.
Mm-hmm.
I believe life is a book that we're writing that we'll never actually read. And you have people that come in that are just a sentence or just a fragment that just give you the right push, that are there. And embracing each moment truly gives you the presence of life.
No, I highly agree. There, like you said, there's somebody that was in there that said something, and it just sparked something that you needed, that you'd never known in your life, walked by, had a quick conversation. And I had one of those. I went on a little tour in Mexico, and I was around a couple people, and they said, all right, 2019, we're going to do it. This is our year. No more making excuses. And funny, like 6 weeks later, a big opportunity came into my life, and from then it got me inspired to start doing music again.
Absolutely love that. All right. Now, the name of this track and the album that you're doing is very important because this is your, so to speak, coming out of being more who you truly are.
Yes. So the album, it came out, it's called Emotional by Daniel Joshua, and I've had a very difficult time throughout the years being emotional besides happy, and people seeing me as happy and smiling and doing all those things.
The facade.
Right. Yeah. So having this and this was literally like my coming out of me being out of my shell, this being, this is my first project that was recorded. So I was really excited to literally spill out my emotions in all the tracks. There's one track that I wrote, it's called Live Life. I told my mom years ago that I wanted her on my project, and she's actually singing on background vocals on that song. But it's a song about growing up in the struggle without my dad and my mom. It's literally about that story. So to have her be a part of, the project was awesome. And just spilling out my emotions. Had a great group of people that I worked with that helped me be emotional, so to speak. And I think that I'm excited for it, to what it's going to be in the next couple of years and the next couple months, to what it's going to do. And all it took was for me to get out of my comfort zone and
get out of that blanket.
Be vulnerable. Yeah. Just be vulnerable with who I am, how I'm feeling. And it's okay to not smile. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to, and show people that you're frustrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're
I
very
know
welcome.
that this is like such a big passion project for you. Love that you're on the show. For the person that's home right now dealing with COVID that doesn't feel like they can really move forward, what's something that you could tell our viewer here that how to potentially take a first step?
Like we keep saying, get out of the blanket, get off the couch. Like that's the first step. I think that there is an opportunity for everybody, and you just have to figure out how, but the only way to do it is to be emotional, to get out of who you truly are, to understand who you really are. I think that's one take I would say for this situation that we're dealing with. That is
absolutely beautifully said and well spoken.
Thank you very much.
Daniel, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I look forward to hearing your song.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Missed over a good thing just to get the next one. Could have been honest, could have been true. You could have changed their point of view. Losing a good love is difficult to get back. It's damn near impossible to see the truth when heartbreak is all they knew. You stood tall, left them to fall. You pick up the pieces. I can't believe it. Claim it's all their fault. Said you don't love them no more without a reason. I can't believe what you've done. Made it that much harder. Oh, you made it to right the wrongs you've done, to love the way they want. You made it that much harder. To right the wrongs you've done. Didn't see your tears 'cause you never said goodbye. You made it that much harder. You should've called them, you should've knew. Your lies couldn't hide behind the truth. They were first class, but you had them on standby. Got to the gate, but couldn't get through. You overbooked your heart, now you stood tall to pick up the pieces. I can't believe it. Said it wasn't no fault. Said you don't love them no more without a reason. Can't you see what you no.